So, LeBron, I'm going to defend him here. Generationally, he grew up on the phone, IG, Snapchat, so did my daughter, so did anybody under 30, 33. So he goes and pushes back a little on the people that don't talk about him in scoring. How did you view that?
Well, first of all, Colin, you need to have me on earlier in the show if you're going to talk this much NBA, because there's so much that you put out there that I need to fix that I don't possibly have the time in this little segment. And two, you didn't need to tell us you were of a different generation because, first of all, you're watching TV, and two, you called the remote a channel flipper. So we got it right there. Three, it's not that LeBron is communicating on social media. It's what he's communicating. This is what I have found fascinating and almost tragic about LeBron, is that for all that he's accomplished, for all the accolades that he has received, for all of his talk about, I'm concerned about things bigger than basketball, he's worried that he's not getting enough dap for his scoring prowess to the point where I'm going to construct a post to point out that I'm not getting the love that I deserve as a scorer. There's no question we're fully aware of all the points that he scored. Here's the distinction, and the reason that he's not looked at as a scorer is because he does not have a scorer's mentality. If Steph Curry or Kobe Bryant start off and they're not shooting well, they don't decide, you know what, I'm going to be a distributor today. I'm going to get everybody else going because I'm not feeling my three-point shot. For whatever reason, it's not falling. They're going to stay after it. They're going to find different ways to score. They're going to get to the free throw line. LeBron doesn't do that because he doesn't shoot the free throw well. I'm going to get to the cup. Don't understand why he wouldn't do more of that if the three-point shot is not falling. So it is amazing that he can affect the game in so many different ways. But even at this point in his career, I still see a guy who is a confidence shooter. That if he's feeling it, he's feeling good about it, then he's going to score. If he doesn't, then he's going to do something else. And that's the distinction. And I dare say, that's the difference. Kobe and Jordan and Steph, they're always going to bet on themselves as scorers. LeBron is like, I'm not feeling it. Let me see if I can get other guys going. And that's always been my criticism of him because I do believe that he has the capability. I don't want him as good of a three-point shooter as Kyle Korver is or J.R. Smith or whatever. No, LeBron, I want you taking the responsibility of that because of your size, speed, and everything that you're capable of. I wish that he trusted himself more in those situations. That has always been my criticism. When we talk about playing the right way is giving yourself the greatest advantage, not playing Hoosiers basketball. It's what gives me the greatest advantage. And because of LeBron's greatness, I've always felt from a physical sense, he gives them the greatest advantage to score in certain situations. And there are just times where he's not feeling it, doesn't have that confidence, and says, you know what, I'm going to try to create something for somebody else.
But let me defend LeBron again. So LeBron, basically, he and AD don't play much together this year. At the end, they're both healthy. They win 5 straight. And when asked about seeding, LeBron's like, I don't care. Just, we're ready to go. Let's go. Bring them on. The Clippers, meanwhile, appeared to tank this weekend, so terrified of playing the Lakers. And I think to myself, Paul George already has a confidence problem in the postseason. They're a terrible late game, close the game out team on data. And I look at the way they kind of tiptoe into the playoffs to avoid the Lakers, and I'm like, I don't like that at all. That is not, for a team that's never made a conference championship, at least fake confidence. What did you make of that?
There's a couple things there. One, I think that the data, end of game data, is a little bit skewed because they've had so many games that have not been decided in the final minutes. I do have a question there as to who they're going to go to and what how they're going to play. I think having Rajon Rondo there really bolsters my confidence that they are going to find the right guy in the right situation to score or find the right matchup. I don't believe, first of all, unless you're telling me that you know somebody from the Clippers organization who said to you directly, you know what, we really don't want to play the Lakers right from the start. We'd rather wait later. I look at this as strategic. Like, why go through the most difficult avenue, one, and two, why play our studs at the end of the season, two studs who have been suffering injuries at various times? Why risk getting them injured right before the playoffs start, as opposed to what the LeBron James and AD had no choice. They were trying to avoid the play-in game, so you had to play them. And what happened? Both of them tweaked their ankle in a game that you would have otherwise sat them. So I think that was the risk that the Clippers were running. I look at Rajon Rondo. I look at Kawhi Leonard. I don't believe they're scared of the Lakers. I don't believe they're scared of LeBron James. So I'm not buying this idea that they're like, oh, we don't want to see them. Like, if we can avoid seeing them, then that's better for us. I think there's still a healthy appetite among the Clippers that they would like to win a championship, and they have no problem going through the Lakers to do it.
Ric Bucher joining us. So Brad Stevens, a little bit of a hot seat. They're not a championship team this year, and I don't see them over the next several years as being a championship team. What do you do to right it?
Yeah, you're right, and it's on Danny Ainge. This is not the structure of this team, and the structure of the coach-player dynamic is not a good one. First of all, Brad Stevens has the misfortune of having come in and been labeled a genius in his first or second year, and I think he's a very good coach. I don't know that he's proved to be a great coach. He's a great strategist. He's a great X's and O's guy, but it takes a special kind of coach to coach superstars. And when you've coached at Butler, you're by and large not coaching superstars. You're coaching and you're getting the most out of lesser talent. And he's demonstrated that he's capable of doing that with the Boston Celtics. But how do you cultivate those superstars? How do you drive those superstars to be superstars? I look at his demeanor. I look at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, their two best players, their demeanor, and they're all sort of soft-spoken. They are more passive than aggressive. I feel that the one element that this team is missing more than anything else is that fire starter, that Draymond Green, that emotional leader. Marcus Smart is the closest thing that they have to that. But when Danny is throwing his name out there in trade rumors at the trade deadline, how much authority does he actually have in the locker room? So I feel like there's just, aside from the X's and O's and not having enough size and rim protection, there's a personality dynamic to this team that is missing, and they have to go find that. But I agree with you 1,000%. Like, there's a lot of work to be done on this roster in order for them to be a contender in the Eastern Conference anytime soon.
All right, we're done. That was good. You mean you get 9 minutes?
All right.
About all we have, Buke. There's a lot of ads on this show. It's very popular. Very popular show.
I understand. I just, when the ads come on, I get the channel flipper out and I see what else is going on, and then I come back once you're back.
All right, Ric Bucher, Fox Sports. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.